everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. I'm so happy to have you here today. In today's tutorial, we're going to talk about how you can use HTV on cardstock, and we're going to use some glitter HTV. Now, you're going to see me make a little bit of a mistake because I didn't label my HTV correctly, and I went and used puff HTV, but it actually looks really cool, so I can't wait to show you what it looks like. We're going to use a mini press for this, and this one is by Tech Wrap. Look how cute it is. It looks like a little bumblebee. It's adorable. I'll link this down below because it is really cute, and what I like is that it's much lighter to me than some of the other ones, but it also is more comfortable to hold than some of the others. It has a nice like little indent, so it's really comfortable. I like it a lot. We're going to use some cardstock from Michaels, and like I said, we're going to use that puff HTV, which I would not recommend on cardstock. It doesn't really puff. I've tried it many times before and you just don't get that puff that you like, but it is pretty fun. I'll link some of my favorite HTV products down below in case you want to try something different, but I felt like I should just leave the accident in anyways because it is important to know that even though I made a mistake, it still looks pretty okay. And it's not a big deal if you too make a mistake. You can always redo the project or just embrace that mistake and go with it. Now, before we get started, be sure that you're subscribed here on YouTube. That way you don't miss out on any of the fun, crafty content we have coming. Without further ado, let's get started. I want to make a really fun summer fruit slice banner using some cardstock, but I don't want to have to like glue all these little teeny pieces down on this lemon wedge. And this is actually designed to cut with vinyl and to have this part cut out. So I can show you how you can tell. I'm going to go to my blank canvas and I'm going to change the color. And everywhere that is this light blue is actually set to cut out, which we definitely don't want it to do. I want to be able to cut this bluish part in white HTV. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate my little wedge here. And I'm going to go to contour, and the first thing I'll do is hide all contours, and that will make a solid piece. And this is what we'll lay our HTV on. Now I'm going to make these a couple different colors, and I'll show you that in just a second. But what I want to do now is I want to make sure that I keep where all of the blue is. So I'm going to go to contour, and all I want to do is I'm going to hide the outside rind here. And then you'll see that we have all of the white stuff left. So now if I take and change the color on this, I'll change it to white, and I'm going to put it up at the top. You'll see now it looks the same, but I actually have two layers for this. Now, like I said, we're going to be cutting that in HTV. Now, these are huge. I'm going to size these down quite a bit. I don't want my lemon and my other slices to be quite that large. That's a bit big. I think about 3.5-ish should be pretty good. So it's going to cut this part in the HTV, and then it's going to cut the rest of this on cardstock. So it's really easy to do. We're going to use a mini press for this. This is such a fun and easy project. So what I want to do now is I'm going to actually duplicate this a couple of times to however many of each color like that I want. So I want to do 4 different colors. So I'm going to do 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to change the color of each of my lemon wedges. It does not matter right now what color I make them, just that they are 4 different colors. And I'm not sure quite what color I'm going to be cutting these on just yet. So as long as they're 4 different colors, that's all I care about. Then I'm going to save my project and I'm going to call it Fruit Slice Banner and click Save. Now what's really, really cool about this type of a project is how easy it is to tell Design Space how many you want. So instead of sitting over here and duplicating this, let's say I want 4 of each color, I can actually click the Make It option here at the top. And right here at the very, very top, I can tell it that I want 4 of each copy. So then I can just click Apply. And now you'll see that I've got all the white pieces that I need, but then on each of these pieces, I have my 4 different color fruit slices. Now, yes, they're upside down because I flipped it around in Design Space. I'll put them on the banner straight, but that's just kind of how it is. So again, these will all be HTV. These will need to be mirrored, and then these ones are going to cut on the cardstock setting. It's super easy to do this, and I love using HTV, especially when I have like little details that I don't want to have to try to glue on with cardstock. So we're going to cut these, and I'll show you how to cut everything out. We'll assemble them. It's really fun, really, really easy, and this banner is going to be super cute. We're going to be using some glitter HTV because why not? I thought that would be really fun on this cardstock. So the first thing I need to do is load this on to my mat. This is Tech Wrap brand, which comes rolled, so it is usually pretty tightly rolled. Now, I don't know if this mat's gonna be sticky enough, but we're gonna go for it and hopefully it will be fine. But one thing I want you to note is some tech wrap is only 10 inches wide, so you just wanna make sure that anytime you're using it, you double check your image to make sure it fits on the roll. I'm gonna cut this on the glitter iron-on setting, and we are gonna make sure that this section is mirrored for that cut.
I'd run 1,000 miles if I could run with you. And from what I have heard, you do the same thing too.
Now, before I take this out of my Cricut, I do want to make sure it cut because I've been having a lot of cut issues with the Maker 3 since the new update. So I'm going to grab one of the slice pieces that I know comes out, and I'm just going to make sure that it weeds really nicely, and I just don't trust, so I'm going to do another one just to make sure. But it looks like it cut that one really nice, so we can go ahead and unload. Now I need to change my cut setting. I'm going to cut it over, change it over to a medium cardstock setting, and we're going to cut out all of our cardstock pieces next.
Guess misery loves company. Better too late than never. You know we could do better. So take a chance and run with me. Everywhere we go.
So remember how I told you that we could use project copies? Well, guess who forgot to use project copies? It was me. So we're going to have just 4 little fruit slices, and that's okay. It's fine. It's no big deal. I can always cut more later if I want to, but this is really just to show you how to press HTV onto cardstock. It's such a great way to use the HTV because you don't have to use these little teeny pieces, but this is weeding so nice. This is some glitter HTV from Tech Wrap. I'll link it down below. I really like their glitter HTV. I think it cuts so good. I think it weeds really nice. It's super sparkly, which like if I'm working with glitter HTV, I really want. And I don't think it leaves a ton of glitter on the carrier sheet, which I find that some other brands do, and it can press to your other HTV products if you're like layering or anything. So that's why I really, really like this kind. So I will link it below. And there is a coupon code, it's Corinne10, and you can save 5%. So let me go ahead, finish weeding these. I'm gonna cut them apart, and then I'm gonna get them pressed to the cardstock. Show you how to do that, because it's super easy.
All I know is that I need you.
I've got my little press from Tech Wrap. This one is so stinking cute. And over here on the side is your power button and then your settings. So what I want to do is I'm going to hold the power button down till it beeps. And that means it's on. And then what you're going to do is you press the little button to select your heat setting. So for this, we're going to be using the medium setting. It's going to flash red until it's ready, where it will turn green. While it's getting ready, we can go ahead and get our paper cuts ready. So I'm going to just trim apart my little slices here, and you don't have to trim these beautifully. It does not matter if there's a bunch of extra carrier sheet or whatnot, but you just want to make sure you don't trim the HTV. So once I've got those pulled apart, I'm going to line them up onto my little papers. Now you want to make sure you have the paper facing the correct direction, and then you just line it up and press it down. So I'm going to do that for each of my colors. I did 4 colors, and like I said, I totally forgot to make more copies, so it's fine. But like I said, what's great about this is we can work on one set, make sure we really like them, and then we can do another set later on if we decide we want some more. So I'm just going to get all these set up, and oops, gotta flip that one. And then we're going to put some parchment paper over these to protect them from the heat of the press. That's just going to make it so it's a little bit safer for your paper. And you can use big piece of parchment paper, little piece, or whatever you got. I got a big piece because with parchment paper, it can be used multiple times. So I like to just kind of keep pieces on hand. So I'm going to let this heat up. It's still heating up. It takes just a few minutes. It's pretty quick. Once that's done, I'll show you how we press. That little beep means she's ready. So with your parchment paper over your design, all you need to do is take your press and put it over your paper. Now, a nice thing about this is it doesn't take a lot of pressure or time. I usually do about 8 to 10 seconds, and then I just make sure that I got all the paper, especially in those corners. This pretty much covers the whole design, but there might be like a corner somewhere that I missed. So I just like to give it a little pressy press. And then you see you've got your paper. Now, some of the paper will change a little bit of color from the heat, but it will go back to normal once it has cooled. And so I just want to make sure, you know what, I'm not thrilled with the center press, and that's okay. If it didn't press all the way, nice thing is you can just come back and press again. Now I am going to add a little bit more pressure just in that center because that didn't stick down as well as I would have liked, and that's okay. These are very forgiving. So now I can go ahead and just double check and make sure that's stuck down the way I wanted. Not quite. So that's the one thing with doing paper projects is sometimes you'll have a little bit of a spot that maybe doesn't want to stay down as well. So for that, I just take the little tip of my press and I just make sure to really press that piece really well down, and that way it's gonna be held. Because sometimes the paper can affect like how your press is pressing. So it's okay, and that's what's nice about this is that it will allow you to kind of repress things. So I think that looks good. I'm gonna let this sit and cool. I just wanna make sure it's all pressed down pretty well. And then I'm just gonna slide my next color under, and I'm just gonna do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these done, and then we'll peel off the carrier sheets because I'm pretty sure these are cool peel anyways. So I'll let them all cool down before we peel them. While those two are cooling, let's go ahead and check on these two and just make sure all the little pieces stayed down. I've got one little seed right there that doesn't want to hold down, so that's okay. Again, I'll just take the press and I'll just give it a little extra heat right on that little seed, and then we'll come back to this in just a moment once it has cooled. I just had an amazing revelation. This is glitter puff. So it is a little, I'm sitting here going, why is it kind of getting a little wrinkly in spots? It's because it's glitter puff. So one thing I want you to note, like on this green one, it started to puff a little bit, and so like it took the seeds over. I didn't realize this was glitter puff, but that's okay. It's still really cute, and like it totally works. Like it's fine, but that's also why it's not sticking as well because I'm not heating it enough. So I'm gonna turn my heat press up one more, and then I'm gonna go ahead and finish these two. I got these ones to stick, but you'll note like it's a little puffy over here. It's because this is glitter puff. I'm so silly. I did not label it, so I will make sure to label it now that it's glitter puff, but it is really cute. So let me go ahead and get these ones repressed at the hotter temperature, and then I'll show you what everything looks like once we're done. You can really see it puffing on this one. Oh, I'm so silly. I can't believe I did that. I mean, I can, but also I can't. That's okay though. It's fine. It's gonna be cute anyways. It doesn't have to be perfect. I've got a couple seeds on this one. Now I'm gonna just press this directly on to this because this is covered by the carrier sheet. And now that I know that it's puff, this extra heat is not gonna hurt it. I actually find that with puff, a lot of times it works better for me if I use directly heat onto the carrier sheet. But you can see it's starting to puff. Oh my gosh, that's really cute, but wow, I'm silly. So let me go ahead and see if all those seeds stuck down. They did. So it's still really cute, but I'll get you guys an up-close view and we'll talk a little bit more about what I made a mistake with. Here are the finished cardstock pieces with our accidental puff HTV. Now, granted, the puff does not really work on cardstock. I have tried it many different times, and this was just a mistake because I didn't label it. But it still looks pretty good, honestly, and using cardstock and HTV together is such a fun way to add a little bit of like texture by using a glitter or even a holographic, but it also saves you a lot of work when it comes to like these tiny little seeds, because who wants to sit there and glue all of those itsy bitsy baby seeds on there? I know I certainly don't. I would lose my mind. But I do love that I can use cardstock on HTV, and using a little mini press is perfect for it because you don't have to heat up your big press. It's quick, it's easy, And it's just a really simple thing to do if you need to add some really cute little details. If you have any questions, please let me know in those comments down below. I'll link everything that we used for this video in the description. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting.